Hello, my dear friends. How are you doing? I hope that everything is great with you. So, today we are talking about body dysmorphia. And I wanted to talk about it because, first of all, I have suffered from it for maybe 10 years or so. And it got pretty intense around the same time last year. And I also have been seeing a lot of videos about it on the internet lately. If a person has body dysmorphia, they usually focus on a perceived flaw of their appearance, or maybe several flaws, and they get really stuck in these thoughts. So it might be a part of a face, it might be like their body parts, it can be even excess weight or not enough weight or something like that. And usually these flaws that people are obsessed with are not perceivable to other people, so only the people with the disorder can see that something is wrong with them, and for everybody else they look absolutely normal. And a lot of times these people are really attractive and they don't even understand it. It causes shame and anxiety, and the people who have body dysmorphic disorder can sort of exclude themselves from the society. They can refuse to go out, they can refuse to go to the public places because they will think that they will be ridiculed and that they will be ashamed of their appearance, and so they might lock themselves up in their houses for months. It can be very hard to maintain a job like this. It causes severe depressions and suicidal thoughts, so it is kind of a serious thing, although a lot of people might think that the people who have body dysmorphic disorders, it's like first world problems and they are just fishing for compliments or being like too critical of themselves, but it's actually not. So I can share a little bit of my experience with it and how it started. So I think that maybe when I was around 11 or 12, a girl in school made a comment about my appearance, about something that she didn't like, and I fixated on that and I started hating that part of my body, and I just thought that I was very ugly and that like no one can ever love me with this kind of flaw, and that, you know, like I was just obsessing over it since I was 11 or 12. When I was 13, I discovered that there is such thing as plastic surgery, and it became my dream to give myself like a plastic surgery to fix my face. When I was 15, I won a competition for like young scientists, whatever, it's not the part of the story, and I won some money. It was not like millions, but it was, I mean, a decent amount of money. And the first thought that I had in my brain when I won this competition was, wow, now I can afford plastic surgery. Well, gladly I was not 18 yet, so I couldn't do plastic surgery without the consent of my parents, and I knew that they would never give me consent. Also, I kind of thought that they will be offended because, well, I mean, my facial features are inherited from them, so they might think that I don't love them in a way, so that I can, you know, like get rid of something that reminds me of them. I don't know. This is what was happening in my head. I'm not saying that it's logical or, you know, makes sense in any way. So after that, I was really obsessed with this part of my body, but I also was obsessed with like my appearance in general. So I cannot name an area of my body that I didn't hate at some point of my life. I wished, like I prayed for several, maybe years, like every night I prayed to go to sleep and wake up in somebody else's body. It's not a symptom of body dysmorphia, so I had like way more serious underlying problems than that. But still, I mean, I was always disappointed in my body and always thought that there was something wrong, that I have some, you know, this like unique flaw that just makes me unworthy of love and of anything good in this world. And at times I couldn't look at myself in the mirror because I just thought, oh my god, how can I be so ugly? And I could only concentrate on this part of my body. So let's fast forward to when I was 22, almost 23, so last year around this time. It just went out of control. So I was in a very like unstable mental state at that time, and somehow this like body dysmorphia, it just went crazy. So I would look at myself in the mirror and I would not see my face, but it's sort of like it was legit hallucinations, because I saw like my face changing and the parts that I didn't like expanding and the other parts kind of getting smaller, and it was not my face anymore. It was kind of like an orc or like a monster in the mirror. And I thought that how can I be so freaking ugly? I didn't see my own face. I saw something like completely different, and I knew that it's like my brain, you know, messing with me. But anyway, it is really scary. I avoided mirrors for maybe like 2-3 weeks whatsoever, because I just couldn't. When I looked at myself in the mirror, when I looked at myself in like a reflection in a glass, you know, in a glass door or something like that. So I mean, you cannot avoid your reflections altogether because we have all this like reflective surfaces everywhere. But it just seeing myself in a reflection, even like a glimpse, made me want to end my life so much that I was really scared that I will do it. And it was a very scary time in my life. And after that, I remember that I couldn't stand mirrors for maybe half a year. I remember going to a hairdresser's and I needed to be there in front of the mirror for maybe half an hour so that she gave me a haircut. It was the worst half an hour. I was just staring at myself and I couldn't, like, I hated the person in there. I thought that it was the ugliest, the worst person ever. And it is like the more hardcore case maybe than just like regular body dysmorphia. But keep in mind that I have also been anorexic and bulimic, and like I had all the, you know. Now it is way better. So we are slowly getting to the symptoms and the treatment section of what I wanted to say today. And well, there are a lot of symptoms and they are pretty self-explanatory. So if a person is obsessing over something that is not really visible to others in their appearance, it is the first kind of sign to, you know, suspect body dysmorphia. But also they spend a lot of time looking at themselves in the mirror and like checking, you know, like turning around like and they try to cover up the part of the body that they don't like. So for example, like they wear really saggy clothes, or they would like put all their hair forward, or you know, like there is a lot of different ways to cover something up. And another thing is that people can also avoid mirrors like I did, so that they can just not stand the stress that they get when they see their own reflection in the mirror, so they have to avoid them altogether. And seeking plastic surgery is also one of these things. And a lot of plastic surgeons are actually aware of this kind of illness that body dysmorphia is. And if they see that a person doesn't need any plastic surgery, but they still come and ask them to, you know, cut them and like make them a new face, a good plastic surgeon will probably just ask them to go and see a psychiatrist or like therapist, because I mean, they can easily ruin their lives, and you can probably find the examples of bad plastic surgeries and people making them actually uglier than they were before, because body dysmorphia. So how is it treated? As a lot of other like personality disorders, it's not really a personality disorder, but still cognitive behavioral therapy is something that really helps. And since there are a lot of comorbid disorders like OCD, and there is usually depression, because this cannot not leave you depressed, and people usually treat it with antidepressants because of that. But actually it is pretty much curable, and I mean, now I have had maybe like half a year of really intense cognitive behavioral therapy, and now I just have it from time to time when I need it. I can say that it got way better. I can look at myself in pictures, I can look at myself in the mirror, I do not obsess most of the time about my appearance. I still have some, you know, like leftover stuff, so I can still sometimes think that it would be really cool to have like plastic surgery, or that it would be really great if I had somebody else's body or something like that. But I guess that you cannot just get rid of it like, you know, so fast. But I'm really happy with the results, and I do not get panic attacks from looking in the mirror, and I do not hate myself, and most of the time I am pretty glad to see, you know, the person on the other side of the mirror, because I learned to see past you know, the shell that is our body, and I'm more concentrated on, you know, what is inside. I hope that you find this video helpful, guys. I hope that it made any sense. Please don't hesitate to ask me questions, because I really like talking to you. And thank you very much for watching my videos. I love you, and be a nice human. Bye.